Loyalty is cool. Loyalty is great. We want to be loyal to the things that deserve our loyalty. We want to be loyal to the things that reciprocate that loyalty back to us. But some of us, we have stayed loyal to the wrong things for far too long. We wonder why our life is feeling like it's feeling right now. We wonder why we're unhappy. We wonder why we don't have peace in our life. We wonder why we don't love who we are, because we've been loyal to the wrong stuff. So right now in your life, I want you to think about it. Like, what have you been loyal to that's not helping you? What have you been loyal to that's keeping you chained up to pain? What are you being loyal to that's keeping you from feeling free? What are you being loyal to that's keeping you from enjoying your life? Because at some point, you got to break that chain. At some point, you got to say, I'm no longer being loyal to this anymore. I don't care what you label me. I don't care if people say I'm unloyal. I don't care if people say that I changed. I don't care if people say that I switched up. I don't care if people say, oh, I'm not the same. You're right. Some of you, your good heart is keeping you in situations that is tearing your life apart. Some of you, your good heart, and always keep your heart good. I'm not telling you to change who you are, but I'm telling you to wake up and ask yourself, am I giving myself to the things that are reciprocating these things back to me? Am I giving my all to things that are barely giving me anything back? Am I giving me loyalty to things that are giving me nothing but misery back? Am I giving my loyalty to things that's just giving me disrespect back? Am I giving my good heart into situations that could care less about it, doesn't respect who I am, doesn't value who I am, doesn't cherish who I am? And some of us, we're staying in these situations and we wonder why we feel empty. We wonder why we don't love life no more, because we wonder why we think this world is so toxic. And listen, a lot of things in this world is toxic, but everything isn't toxic. It's because you are giving your everything to situations that's not giving you nothing back. And you're starting to feel like you're unvaluable. You're starting to feel like you're not enough. You're starting to feel like things in your life don't matter. You're starting to feel like you don't matter. You're starting to feel like you're not special. You're starting to feel like you're not talented. You're starting to feel like you're not beautiful. You're starting to feel like you're not incredible, because you have your life, you have your heart, you have everything that you invest. You're investing yourself. You're investing your loyalty. You're investing your peace. You're investing your joy. You're investing your happiness in the wrong things. You're investing in yourself, your heart, in things that aren't giving you any type of return. And you wonder why you have emotional bankruptcy in your life. What's emotional bankruptcy? It means that you don't even love who you are no more. You don't even know who you are no more, because you're investing those things in the wrong things, in the wrong people. So at some point, just like we always talk about, at some point you have to make the decision that says, you know what, I'm no longer being loyal to this situation. I'm no longer being loyal to this habit. I'm no longer being loyal to this environment. I don't care what people call me. I don't care what people say. I am going to do what's best for me. I'm no longer going to be loyal to the things that aren't best for me anymore. I'm no longer going to be loyal to the things that keep me from being the best me, because I have history with this person. My favorite quote that I always say, never let the history keep you in the misery. At some point, you got to just stop being so loyal. At some point, you got to wake up and say, man, you know what? I'm going to be loyal to the right things. How would your life change if you were loyal to the things that deserved your loyalty? How would your life change? And what does that mean? How would your life change if you're around an environment that actually reciprocated what you gave to the environment and gave it right back to you? How would your life change if you were loyal to your peace and say, you know what? I'm going to prioritize my peace because my peace is my power. And I'm not going to be loyal to anything that steals my peace, that robs my peace. I'm not going to be loyal to anything that breaks my heart anymore. I'm not going to be loyal to the things that, because some of us think that we have to. And I get it. Sometimes it's our kids that we're loyal to, right? Sometimes it's the people around us that we love that we're loyal to. We feel like, man, I have to stay loyal to these things just because. No, you don't. Change your mindset around loyalty. I'm not telling you that you kick people out your life, but at some point, you got to stay loyal to your standards, not loyal to your suffering. At some point, you got to stay loyal to your values and your principles more than you do to people. At some point, you got to stay loyal to what you know is good for your life instead of the things that are bad for your life. At some point, you got to say, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to set this standard as president for my life. And this is how I'm going to live my life, whether people like it or not. Because I refuse to keep living my life unhappy. I refuse to keep living my life in misery. I refuse to keep living my life not loving my life. I refuse to keep waking up every single day and being sad. I refuse to keep repeating the same day for the last 10 years, for the last 5 years, for the last year that has caused me nothing but misery and pain. I am tired of my tears and I want to create my smile. I am tired of my depression. Some of us, we loyal to the things that cause us our depression, y'all. You got to free yourself today. Some of us, we're loyal to the things that are causing our suffering. Let's be real. I've been guilty of that, right? I'm not just preaching to you. I've been guilty of that. And I had a conversation with myself out here today and say, Trent, at some point you have to stop being so damn loyal to the things that you know aren't good for your life. And you got to somehow figure this out and change who you are in some of these situations. Because you're so worried about people saying that you changed, you're so worried about people saying that you switched up, that you stay in situations that you know are not beneficial for your soul. You're literally making your peace secondary. And I know when my peace is secondary, that means that I'm not going to have much peace in my life because I'm prioritizing other things that I probably shouldn't prioritize. So I want you to write a list down tactically. I want you to write a list down and write it on your phone, write it in your mirror. Just write a list down simply as a reminder and say, you know what? These are the things that I'm being loyal to no matter what. These are my negotiables. I'm being loyal to my non-negotiables. I mean, your non-negotiables. I'm being loyal to my non-negotiables. These are the things that I'm being loyal to for the rest of my life. Maybe I'm being loyal to my peace. That's what I'm being loyal to. Not to people, not to all that. I'm being loyal to my peace first. That's at the mecca of what I'm being loyal to. That's at the top, right? I'm being loyal to God. Not to people, not to this world, not to people's opinions, not to pleasing people. Some of you have been loyal to pleasing people for your whole life, right? You're being loyal to being a people pleaser because you want people you want to fit the perception. You've been loyal to the perception that people have for you. You want to fit in people's perception of you. You want to make sure that you make everybody happy. You're being loyal to pleasing everybody. And you know at the end of the day, you're pleasing everybody, but you're losing yourself. What's the point of pleasing the world? That means you losing yourself. What's the point of making everybody happy if that creates your unhappiness inside? So I want you to write a list right now. I want you to write 2 lists. I want you to write the first list of things you're going to stop being loyal to right now that is ruining your life. Right now that is keeping you from being happy. Right now that is keeping you from having peace. Right now that is keeping you from loving your life. Write that list down. I want you to write it down today. You can write it down right now in the chat if you want to. I'm no longer being loyal to what? And I want you to stay committed to that. When that mood leaves, I want you to still stay committed to that. When that emotional rise up and you feel lonely and you want to go back to a situation that made you feel alone in the first place, I want you to be loyal to what you said you're going to be loyal to. So I want you to write that list of what you're no longer going to be loyal to. 1 or 3 things. Make it simple. Make it clear. Make it plain. Even write why you're not going to be loyal to these things. And it's okay. It's your list, right? You ain't got to tell nobody. And then after that, I want you to write a list of 3 things of what you're going to start being loyal to. Loyal to God. I'm going to be loyal to God first and foremost. Right? So God deserves my loyalty, first and foremost, because I know what I give to God, it ain't coming back null and void. I'm going to be loyal to my peace. I'm going to be loyal to being the best me. Right? I'm going to be loyal to myself instead of other people. Whatever that list looks like for you, and I'm telling you, once you start being loyal to the right things, you're going to start seeing great things happen in your life. I'm going to repeat that. Once you start being loyal to the right things, you're going to start seeing great things happen in your life. Once you start being loyal to the right things, you're going to start seeing great things happen to your life. Once you start being loyal to the right things, you're going to start seeing changes happen in your life. Once you start being loyal to your peace, guess what happens? You experience more. Sorry, my signal. Once you start being loyal to your peace, you experience more peace. Right? Once you start being loyal, I know these things sound so elementary, so common sense, and it is common sense, but sometimes we don't practice on our common sense. We don't trust our common sense. We don't do our common sense. We don't live our common sense, right? We don't respond to our common sense. But once you start being loyal to your happiness, you're going to find more happiness in your life. Once you start being loyal to yourself, you're going to start realizing you're going to start loving yourself some more. Once you start being loyal to what you know you need in your life, guess what? The things that you need in your life are going to start being elevated in your life. Once you start being loyal to those things, being loyal to your health, right? Being loyal to living your best life. Once you start with being loyal to your best life, you're going to live a better life. It works like that, right? Maybe you need to start being loyal to your health. Maybe you start being loyal to your fitness. Maybe you need to start being more loyal to your spiritual walk. Like, what if we took our loyalty out of the things that don't serve us, out of the things that don't give us anything back, out of the things that don't make us happy, right? What if we took our loyalty out of that and we put our loyalty in the right things? What if we put our loyalty and say, you know what? I'm going to be loyal to what creates my best emotional spirit. I'm going to be loyal to what creates my best physical life. I'm going to be loyal to the things that really protect my mental health and put me in a better place. It is time for you to make a change, y'all. At some point in life, we got to wake up and we got to say no more. We got to wake up and we got to say, man, this is it. We got to wake up and say, I'm going to make a change, a difference. We can't just be online watching things, saying amen, all the things and go back to the same things, y'all. It doesn't work like that. Hearing things is great, but you know what? Doing things and taking action, that's what's going to make change in your life. So when you get off this live, when you get off this video, you need to start making some decisions. You ain't got to change everything, but you need to say, you know what? This is the one thing that I'm going to stop being loyal to. This is the one thing I'm going to start being loyal to. I'm going to stop being loyal to everybody else. I'm going to start being loyal to myself. How would your life change if you did that? I know my life changed tremendously when I did that. When I stopped putting everybody's needs before my own, and I started putting my needs first, I started giving my life what I needed. I started taking time for myself. I stopped giving all of myself to everybody else. You know what happened? I stopped being burnt out. I stopped being empty. I stopped being unhappy. Because I started to give my life what I need. I made me a priority in my own life. Some of you ain't a priority in your own life. You're not. You might say that you are. But you put everybody else in front of you. And there's nothing wrong with that sometimes. I get it. You have a good heart. And I love that and keep that. I want you to have a great heart. Nothing wrong with that. I get it. But for some of us, we're not even a priority in our own life. And I want you to think about how silly that sounds, but it's true. I've been there. You're not even a priority in your own life. You putting everything in front of you. And for some of you, I don't even gotta ask you, you know how that's working out. You putting everything in front of you. You losing yourself to please people. Right? You're trying to be perfect for people that will never respect you, no matter how perfect you are. You know what I mean? You're trying to put everybody's needs in front of your own. And look to the life that is led for you and brought you to. So this is the moment right now. You're not seeing this video by accident. This is the moment right now that you say, you know what? I'm setting these non-negotiables, these boundaries, and I'm standing on this. And I'm saying, this is how I'm living my life for this season. We can always adjust. But for this season right here, this is how I'm living my life. I'm being loyal to this and that. And that's what it's going to be. Some people might not like it. Some people might not get it. Some people might not celebrate it. Some people might hate it. Some people might talk about it. But it's okay. Because if I'm doing what's best for me, and these people talk about me, then I know those people don't want the best for me, and those aren't people that need to be in my life. Some of you are so afraid of the repercussions. I wouldn't call it that. I really think it's, I wouldn't even say the word repercussions. I think it's personally rewards. But some of you are so afraid with the repercussions that come with making decisions that are best for you. You're so afraid of what people are going to say. You're so afraid of maybe the conversation, the argument that's going to happen. You're so afraid with people saying that you changed, that you switched up. I just did a podcast this week, Trent Shelton podcast, straight up podcast, where I talked about switched up. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you right now, like, I switched up a lot. Yeah. And some people don't get it. Some people say, oh, Trent, you changed. You're right, I changed. I switched up. I switched up so many times in my life. I switched up from selling for less to not selling for less at all. You're right, I switched up. I switched up and leaving toxic things behind. And I switched up to actually going to get what's meant for my life. I switched up from prioritizing everything else in front of myself to prioritizing me. You're right, I switched up. Keep saying I switched up. If switching up means that I'm no longer a part of toxic things, I switched up. If switched up means that I'm no longer doing the things that didn't serve my life, I switched up. If switched up means that say, you know what, I'm going to get the best out of my life and I'm no longer going to settle for my life, I switched up. If switched up means I left a friend circle that wasn't good for me because all they did was talk about people and probably talked about me behind my back, you're right, I switched up. And I'm going to keep switching up. I'm going to keep leveling up so I can get the most out of my life. Some of you are too damn worried about, man, what everybody else is saying about you. And you're not prioritizing you. So when you prioritize you don't care what people say about you no more. I'm not going to say you don't care. It doesn't bother you as much anymore. When you prioritize you say, you know what? I'm going to switch up on everything that's not serving my life no more. Some of you need to switch up. And I'm going to make another live about this one. But some of you need to switch up. Some of you need to switch up this that says, you know what? If I'm no longer being loyal to the wrong things and that means I switched up, I switched up. Facts. I switched up. Change is not important. Change is everything. It's everything. And some of us, as I've said I say this all the time, for the last 10 years, some of us we want to change. We want to change. We want to change, but we don't want to make changes. That's what we do. We want to complain about things. We want to talk about things. We want to get on Facebook and type about things and inbox me about things, but we don't want to make changes. And at the end of the day, without changes, nothing changes. I know that sounds so common sense, but it's true. At some point, you got to wake up and make change in your life and say, you know what? This is the day where everything changes. This is the day where I stop being loyal to the wrong things. This is the day where I stop selling for less. This is the day where I change my life. This is the day where I say no more. This is the day where I turn the page. This is the day where I start a new chapter. This is the day where I break those chains. This is the day. Right now, this is the day. This is the moment. But if we keep on repeating the same cycles, if we keep on repeating the same things, and we keep on just talking about all the things that are wrong and not doing anything about it, nothing's going to happen in our life. I hate to say it like that. I hate to be so blunt, so real, and so raw, but it's true. Nothing is going to happen. I know you know that common sense, but I want you to really feel that and understand that. I want you to really feel that and understand that at some point, you really got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired and saying no more. I don't care what comes with it. I'm saying no more because I'm tired of living my life like this. I'm tired of being depressed all the time. I'm tired of not being happy. I'm tired of waking up and hating the day. I'm tired of waking up and feeling this heaviness every time I wake up and attack the day. I'm tired of living the same day every day. I'm tired of this life. If you're sick and tired of being tired, you got to change your life by making changes to your life. It's not some major change that you got to make. I'm telling you right now, it's not the major thing that you think, oh, I'm missing this and this big breakthrough. The breakthrough is created by the simple things. The simple things that create your breakthrough. The simple things of saying, you know what? I'm going to stop being loyal to this. Breakthrough. The simple things to say, you know what? I'm going to prioritize God in my life. I'm going to be loyal to God in my peace. Breakthrough. Those are the things that create your breakthrough. I know we go search on YouTube and Google how to move on, how to break free, how to all these things. And I know there's a list of steps that they tell you like, oh, you want to do this and that. I'm telling you right now, it is the small choice decision that you know you need to make that's going to create your breakthrough. Start right now. You know there's a choice right now that you need to make. You know there's something in your life that you've been loyal to that you don't need to be loyal to, that you need to stop being loyal to. And I'm not necessarily saying it's relationships or people. Only you know. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe it's an environment. Maybe it's your cell phone that you're getting on and the first thing in the morning, you being loyal to Facebook and getting on Facebook and it's causing you to be stressed out in the morning. Maybe you're loyal to your email too much. Maybe you're loyal to your work too much and you're not spending enough time with your family. I don't know. Because some of us, let's talk about that. We so loyal to working hard. I've been there where you're not having a fulfilled life. Be loyal to your fulfillment. Be loyal to the things that fulfill you. How about that? Be loyal to the things that fulfill your life. Some of us, we loyal to creating our best life, and I get it. I've been guilty of this. Gosh, that thing is loud. Right? You're loyal to all these things. But what if you're loyal to the things that fulfilled you? What if you prioritize that and say, you know what, I'm going to be loyal to the things that fulfill me. I'm going to be loyal to having fun in my life. I'm going to be loyal to doing things with people that I love, doing what I love. I'm going to be loyal to doing what I love with who I love. That's the loyalty I'm going to have now. I'm going to put my loyalty towards that. How would your life change if you did that simple thing? Made that simple choice. You see, a lot of us, we want this huge breakthrough and we think it has to do all these things for me to change. No, change is a choice. It's a choice. Does the result of your change happen immediately? For some of us, it does. But for some of us, it doesn't. It takes time. It's a seed. Think about change. Change is a seed, right? It's a seed. When you make a choice, you are planting that seed. When you make a choice to say, you know what, I'm going to no longer be loyal to this. You might still have to go through the process of certain things. You might feel certain things, right? It takes time for your emotional self to adjust to certain things. I'm not saying that it happens overnight, but it's a seed. And I look at everything as a seed. If I make a choice today, I'm planting the seed. I don't expect the harvest to happen tomorrow. But I know if I keep watering that seed, staying loyal to that seed, I know if I stay loyal to that seed, and I don't turn my back on that choice that I made, I know at some point the harvest of change, the harvest of the harvest of the result is going to happen at some point. But most of us don't have patience in the process. We don't trust the process. We don't trust our faith. And we go back to the same things that we're trying to break free from. We run back to the same things we're trying to run from at some point because we don't have faith. You got to be loyal to your change. You got to be loyal to your choice. Stand on it. Stand on it. If you say you're making this decision because it's best for your life, stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. Your emotions will tell you to go back to it. No, stand on your choice. Maybe when you make the choice, everything comes against you and says, oh, you made the wrong choice because all these things are going wrong in your life. Oh, man, things aren't happening. Stand on it. Maybe you're no longer loyal to that addiction no more. You say, I'm breaking free from that addiction. I'm being delivered from that addiction. And that habit wants to come back. Stand on your choice. Stand on it. And when you feel weak and vulnerable, you go to God. God is the ultimate strength, man. When I'm having my times where I'm feeling weak and vulnerable, I go to God. I don't depend on my strength. I'm a man. You're a woman. You're a man. Right? You're a human being. We human beings. We give ourselves too much credit to be so strong. No, I go to God. Say, God, man, I ain't got the strength. I need yours. I need yours right now, Lord. I need yours. I need yours. So I wanted to come on this live this morning. I wanted to start off the morning with this for y'all. Hopefully this will help you. I know I used to do night lives, but I think the morning is just more special. You know what I mean? Because I think it gives you some breakfast for your soul before you go on with your day. But I just hope that you took something from today. You know, that disease of loyalty in the wrong way. And some of us feel like we got to stay in things just because, right? Just because I made a decision to. And there's some things you need to fight through, right? There's some things you need to fight for. You know what's real. But some of us, we know we ain't getting nothing in return from that situation, from that thing that we giving so much of our loyalty to, right? Maybe it's our job. You know what I mean? I know you just can't quit your job, but it's like, man, when you going to start being loyal to your fulfillment? When you going to start loyal to your happiness, right? Some of you are burnt out, right? You're slaving on your job. And sometimes I get it. We go through that season where we got to work and we got to grind for our family. I get it. But at some point, you got to be real with yourself and ask yourself, is this the life that I want to continue to live? And if it's no, maybe you start that plan. Maybe you start being loyal to that idea that you had in your brain, right? That idea that you had. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to start a business. I don't know. That's what happened to me, right? I started being loyal to the idea that I had of RehabTime. And I look at my life. It started with me just being loyal, right? Just to the idea. That's what I'm talking about. So this message isn't about people necessarily. It might be for you, but it's a life message. Like, what's the thing that you need to start being loyal to? Like, what's the thing that deserves your loyalty? Or things? So it could be your dream. It could be your idea. It could be your kids. It can be your spouse. It could be your peace. It could be God. Maybe it is your job. It could be your job that you need to be more loyal to, right? Some of you might just be going through the motions and you're not getting no promotion, right? And you wonder why. But only you know. I don't know. Only you know. And there's some things that you got to stop being loyal to, that you must stop being loyal to, that you have to stop being loyal to, that you can no longer be loyal to. And how would your life change if you just made that simple, hard shift in your life? That simple, hard shift in your life. Because I'll leave you with this, y'all. And this is something I do every single day. I try to do it every day. Is I just think about my life. People ask, like, how have you been able to make change in your life when you made the decision to leave football to walk into what you do now? How'd you make that change? And I always tell people, it's a lot easier when you think about your future self. They ask me, how did you make decisions to move away from pain when you were so addicted to it? I said, yeah, it's a tough decision. But when you think about your future self and you ask yourself this simple question, would I rather do something that's hard temporarily that will hopefully lead to a better, easier life? Or would I rather stay in something that I know is a permanent pain that won't change and will only worsen my life, make my life worse? And so I think about my future self. I think about, man, if I make this decision now, it might be very uncomfortable. It might be tough. It might be hard. But I believe a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now, I will look back and I will thank this current me for making that choice, because it will free me. It will better me. It will help me live the life that's meant for me to live, I believe. And so when I make these choices, y'all, I don't make choices off of my present emotions. I don't make choices off of my current situations. I don't make choices based upon like how I currently feel, my emotions. I don't make choices off of that because I know that, you know, there's a future me. And the future me depends on the future me. Your future you is being built every single day by the choices that you make, by the choices you don't make. Your future you is being built. Okay? There's a version of you, and I always give this analogy. I used to do it at the beginning of the year, but there's a version of you right now, and I want you to think about this. There's a version of you. I might do this at the end of every live, because to me, this nails it home for y'all that stayed on here. There's a version of you, Steve. There's a version of you, Shorty. There's a version of you, Tamara. There's a version of you, Brenda. There's a version of you, Caitlin, right? There's a version of you that's being created. Actually, there's two versions of you that's being created. And, or let me reframe it like this. There's two versions of you that can possibly be created, right? But there's a version of you that's being created. One version of you, I believe most of you will start creating, is the version of you that is no longer going to be loyal to the wrong things. That is no longer going to be loyal to the things that don't serve your life. That is no longer going to be loyal to your pain, etc. Right? There's that version of you. But then there's also another version of you that can be created. That unfortunately, I know some of you probably still will create. Hopefully it's very minimal or you on here, but it's just the truth. That version of you is being created by you staying loyal to the wrong things. You staying loyal to the things that you're complaining about. You're staying loyal to the things that you know are not right for your life. You staying loyal to the things that don't fulfill you. You staying loyal to the things that are stealing your peace. You staying loyal to the things that are causing you to be unhappy in your life. And by the choices that you make, one of those two versions are going to be created. Period. You're going to meet one of those two people in the future. You're going to meet one of those two people next month. You're going to meet one of those two people next year. You're going to meet one of the two of those versions of you 10 years from now. I always think about that. And when it's hard for me to make decisions and choices, I just ask myself, what's the version of Trent that I want to meet? What's the version of Trent that I feel like I deserve to be? Right? What's the version that I want to live? And I go back to my values. I go back to my principles, man. I want to have peace in my life. I want to have happiness in my life. I want to wake up and I want to feel and love the day. I don't want to wake up and be like, oh, today's another day. I want to be like, man, thank you, God, for a new beginning. I want to wake up and do purpose and breathe purpose. There was a time, man, let me be vulnerable with y'all. There was a time over these last few years, y'all know my struggle. Some of you don't, but you know, I went through a lot. Mother's Day is coming up, which is always tough for me. I lost my mom, you know what I mean? I had a very rough, I messed my leg up and still kind of messed up. So I had a lot going on. I lost my grandmother, and there were days where I couldn't live purpose. I couldn't feel purpose. It was tough, right? I couldn't come over here in the morning and go live with y'all. That's why I took a break. I couldn't come over here and just speak life into you guys because I felt like I didn't have anything to give. And I'm a human being, right? So I give myself some grace, but I was choosing to be loyal to my grief. And listen, when you lose somebody, you're not a robot. You're going to go through it. But I was choosing to be loyal to my grief. I was choosing to be loyal to my depression. I was choosing to be loyal to self-pity. I was choosing to be loyal to those things. And listen, again, I'm not undermining anybody. We're humans. We're going to go through our moments of all of that. Where you're going to be loyal to your sadness, it's going to happen. You're a human being. You just can't stay there. It's okay to go through it, but it's not okay to make that a part of your identity. It's okay to have a mood, but don't let your mood become who you are. And the shift happened when I decided to stop being loyal to my grief. When I decided to stop being loyal to my depression. And it was a journey. But I asked myself this question that I just asked you. I said, Trent, if you stay loyal to these things, what's the future you look like? And I wrote down a list. I journaled a list. And you can do that too right now. I know we like to journal happy things and great things and affirmations, which are great. But you can journal that right now. And I journal down, man, if I stay loyal to this grief, I'm going to lose my life. I'm going to lose my life. And I don't mean I was going to kill myself, but I'm going to lose the life that I felt was meant for me to live. I'm going to lose the love for this life. I'm going to lose my purpose. I'm going to lose my joy. And I literally wrote all the things down that I was going to lose. I was going to lose me. And I was starting to lose me, like a lot of us. Like some of you on this live right now. And I get you. Right? You might have lost you. You don't even recognize you no more. Or you're losing you. Things are changing. You know, I gained weight at that time. I stopped doing the things that I love to do. Because this grief, this depression, this sadness overtook my soul. This anger overtook my spirit. And it was tough. So I feel you. I'm not preaching you from the mountaintop, yo. Never have. I might have been to the mountaintop in certain areas in my life. I might have said, hey, I know you can get through it, but I'm right here with you. I'm hiking this mountain with you. I'm in the valley with you. Right? I'm not exempt from pain and hurt. You don't think I'm going through it this week, knowing Mother's Day is less than, 72 hours away? I am. It's hard. But I've been to that mountaintop. I know that if you keep climbing, I know breakthroughs happen for you. I know breakthroughs can take place. I know healing can happen. But if you choose to stay in the valley for the rest of your life, you will never realize that that's an option. You'll never realize that that's available to you. You'll never realize that change is there. And trust me, I get it. I know it's hard to see change when nothing is changing. I know it's hard. But that's why you got to think about those versions of yourself like I did and say, man, if I stop being loyal to those things, what's the version of myself that I'm going to meet? Right? And now, if I continue to be loyal to those things, what's the version of myself that I'm going to keep creating? And that's a conversation that you have to have with yourself, and a real one. I wouldn't tell you to take it lightly. I wouldn't tell you just to think about it. I would sit with it. I would get out of a place of nature maybe. I would go to the cemetery. You know what I mean? You might say, Trent, the cemetery, because, yeah, the cemetery lets you know it's real. You know, when you're staring death right in the face, we tend to make we tend to make changes that's best for our life. I make a lot of decisions in the cemetery, y'all, because I refuse to live this life not trying to live my best life. Why not? It's available to you, y'all. And I'm not just preaching to you because it sounds good. Trust me, it's available to you. I know that greatness is available to you out of your grief. I know that, freedom is available to you out of your depression. I know that deliverance is available to you out of that depression, out of that hard time. I know it's available to you because I'm a living witness of it. So can't nobody take that away from me. Can't nobody stop me from telling you these things, because I know it. I know it. I'm not just talking it. I know it. This is not no motivational speech. This is a real life talk to you guys. I know it. So that's why I'm so passionate about these things with y'all, because I know it's available to you. And I know sometimes we can't see it. That's why blind faith is everything. You don't need to see it when you can feel it. When you feel the Holy Spirit moving in your life, you don't need to see anything. You don't need to see these external validations. No, you know spiritually that there's something more. You're here because you know it's something more for your life. You know it. You know it. You know it where your life is right now. You know this isn't the life that you are meant to live. It's the life that you're settling for. It's the life that pain forced you to settle for. It's the life that hurt forced you to settle for. It's the life that loneliness forced you to settle for. It's the life that self-sabotage forced you to settle for. Oh my gosh, she scared me, girl. It's like, who is this little thing coming up? Hey, baby. Say hi. Damn, I jumped. I thought it was like an animal coming behind me. It's the life that shame forced you to settle for. Nancy, no more trying. It's due season. We're not trying no more, Nancy. It is due season. It's due. We're not trying no more. It is due season. We're doing. Because realize this. People say, well, I'm trying. If you're putting action, you're doing. You're not trying, you're doing it. You're doing. Give yourself credit. You're doing, Nancy. You're doing, Mark. You're doing. Amanda, you're doing. You're doing. You're doing. And keep doing these things. Keep realizing that it's a seed that's been planted. But you can't continue to keep your life in a place that you know it shouldn't be at anymore. You can't go back to that place. There's things that I miss. There's things I sometimes wish I can go back to that I will never go back to, that I will never put my life a part of ever again in my life, because I am too loyal to my progression. I am too loyal to my growth. I am too loyal to my change. I am too loyal to meeting the greatest version of myself. I am too loyal to that I can't go back to certain things. Even though I want to go back to certain things, I can't. And when I do go back to certain things, I realize real quickly that I don't deserve to be here no more. I have my moments where I'm loyal to my emotions, where my emotions get the best of me. I'm human. But I don't stay there. I don't stay there. This is your season, y'all. This is your season of doing. This is your season of changing. This is your season of action. This is your season of being loyal to the right things. And just please take a moment. Don't just hear me, y'all. I don't come on this Facebook page for you just to hear me. YouTube, I don't come on Instagram for you to just hear me. But I just want you to sit with it. Once I press in, I want you to sit with it. And I want you to really think about how your life would look if you were loyal to your peace. How your life would look if you stop being loyal to the wrong and you start being loyal to what you know what was right. And I want you to think about that. And I want your faith to hold on to that. Because it takes faith to see things through. When I first started RehabTime, when I couldn't see anything physically, I couldn't see anything, like no external validation, I held on. I held on with my faith to what I saw in my spirit, to what I saw in my soul, to what my faith guided me to. And I knew it would always happen. I knew change would always happen. I knew I would always break free and break through at some point. And I'm going to be honest, it took years. It took 2 or 3 years for me to really break through, me to really realize that. But it wasn't hard because I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. And your change is coming. Your breakthrough is coming. It's coming. But you got to stay loyal to the things that allow those things to take place. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for giving me your energy, your attention. I don't take that lightly. I think it's pretty cool that people would just sit here and listen and watch me. So I'm always grateful for that and grateful for you, each and every one of you. My ask and my hope is just that you do that exercise. Just please, just do it. Do that exercise with the 2 versions of yourself. Write it down in your journal, what your life will look like if you started to take action. You start to place your loyalty in the right places, and then write down too. And get vivid, get real with yourself. If you don't take any action and you keep being loyal to the wrong things, what's your life gonna look like? And I can tell you right now, whatever you feel right now, it will be multiplied and magnified. That's it. You deserve better. You deserve more. But also, you deserve what you settle for. You know? And unfortunately, can't nobody make a decision? Can't nobody make a choice for your life except you? Can't nobody force you to do anything or take action on anything except you? That's why I always say, at the end of every single video, it all starts with you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I know how hard it is, but you're here, you're doing, it's coming for you. It's rehab time. Let's get it.